A unit cube is just what it sounds like, a cube that measures 1 unit on each side. It can be different sizes, but it needs to measure 1 unit on each of those sides. So look at the yellow examples here. We have this is a unit cube. Each side measures 1. We don't know the units, so we're just calling it a unit cube. This one's not a unit cube because each of the sides measures 2. So it's still a cube, but it's not a unit cube. Same here. This is a 3x3 cube, so it's not considered a unit cube. This one is the unit cube because every side measures 1. A unit cube can be a centimeter cube. This time we know that each side's labeled 1 centimeter. So that makes it a centimeter cube. This is an inch cube because each side measures 1 inch. You could even have a foot cube or a yard cube as long as each side of the cube measures 1. Now, the reason you use unit cubes for the unit coming up is to measure volume. Volume is how much space there is inside a rectangular prism. So like, look at the Rubik's Cube. It's a good example because you can see them so clearly. So if we look at the top of this Rubik's Cube, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It takes 9 unit cubes to make the top layer, and then it'll take another 9 cubic units to make the middle layer, and another 9 to make the bottom layer. So altogether, the Rubik's Cube would be made up of 27 unit cubes. That's how you use unit cubes to measure volume. You'll learn more about that later, but let's talk about volume just a little bit. Here's a box. If I measure the side of this box with my ruler, line up my ruler and measure, I could say the side of my box is 8 centimeters. That's its length. The side of that box is 8 centimeters. Now, if I were going to find, like, suppose I'm going to cover the top of this box with some kind of pretty paper to make it a Christmas present or a birthday present. And I need to know how much space there is on the top of this box. Remember, that would be measuring the area. And so that box would be 8 centimeters by 8 centimeters. 8 times 8 is 64. So we would have 64 square centimeters. That's if I'm measuring area. Remember, area has square centimeters. But what we're getting ready to work on next is volume. And volume would be if I take the lid off the box and I see how much space I can fit inside. How many little cubes could I fit inside that box? How many unit cubes, how many centimeter cubes that would fill the box all the way to the top. And when I measure that, which we're going to learn to do in the next lesson, I would find cubic centimeters. So linear centimeters, linear length is just how long something is. Square centimeters is how much space inside a flat two-dimensional rectangular square. And cubic centimeters, they measure volume, how much space is inside the box. So unit cube is just a cube that measures 1 on each side. It can be 1 centimeter, 1 inch, 1 foot, 1 yard, but it just measures 1 on every side.